Good morning, and how is everybody doing today? So let's get this going. Everything seems to be connecting today, which is great. So, how's everybody feeling? This morning, we're going to do an exercise from Patrick McKeown, Oxygen Advantage. And this is a bit counterintuitive, should I say, not counterproductive, from what I would normally do because I'm a big fan, as you know, of Wim Hof breath work, of a lot of real full-blown workouts. So this is like the polar opposite of that, but it is none the less powerful. And like I've been saying every morning, is I want you to try all these different ways of breathing and see what you like and understand that they all have different purposes depending on what you're wanting to achieve. So you start to think of the body in a completely different way. And it's like, oh, there's too much stress. I'm in my fight or flight response. Let me breathe my way out of it. Oh, there's anxiety there. Let me remove that, release that from the body using the breath. Oh, I'm too high because that happened to me when I was fasting. I was like, oh my God, as if I'd taken some kind of crazy drugs. I was absolutely high, and you're like that. Right? Just breathe and ground yourself and calm yourself because when it comes to making decisions in your life, you want to be in that neutral space. So, too much excitement can make you, can take you to a decision that you could regret. And as with too much fear, could take you to a decision that you may regret. So, when you, and if you've probably had an experience where you've been very, very attracted to somebody and you've thought one thing, and then that attraction dissipates and you think another thing. So, the neutral space, as we talk about it, from that place, that's where you want to be, especially if you're making big decisions, maybe big decisions around your health, big decisions around your relationships, maybe around your workplace. There's a huge amount of change going on right now for all of us. Nobody on this planet is escaping right now. And obviously, there's God knows what's going on everywhere. It's just, it's crazy. So, the only thing that we can really do, if you can't impact other people's suffering, you can certainly impact your own and allow you to get into that neutral space where you can then see if there is action that you can take or if you just have to trust that something is, everything's unfolding the way it's meant to unfold, and all we can do is surf along for the ride. So, what we're going to do is we're going to be breathing. It's as if you have a feather under your nose. So you're going to breathe in and out through your nose if you can. If you can't, just breathe in and out through your mouth or do whatever you can. But because I know a lot of people are congested right now, but if you can, breathing in very gently, in and out through the nose. And it's LSD, as Patrick calls it, long, slow, and deep, but also very quietly. So you want to get to that point of air hunger, which simply means that you want to take a breath. So you're slowing the breath right down. I'm going to time us for 4 minutes. Some of you will have done this with me before. And we're going to slow that breath down, and you're imagining you have this feather under your nose and you're trying not to disturb it. Okay, so and the hairs inside your nose, if you're as old as me, and then that you're trying not to disturb anything. You're just gently, gently breathing. In and out. And you're going to count how many breaths you're taking per minute. I don't know if you heard Freddie saying in the live the other day that I can't remember how many years ago, but say 50 years ago, we used to breathe around 6 to 7 times per minute. And now we're breathing around 20 to 23 times per minute on average. It's quite crazy, isn't it, when you think that that can affect how long you live? But not so much. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. That's what we're interested in here, the quality of your life. So if you've never done this before, expect it to feel a wee bit weird and you're like, oh, I'm breathing too slowly. If you're breathing too slowly, don't stress about it. You're just learning how your body's working. And if you're only starting taking your conscious mind to how you're breathing, expect it to be a bit all over the shop. Do what you can. So I'm going to start the timer and I'm going to, every 1 minute, we'll start again and you count how many breaths you take the first minute, the second minute, the third, and then the fourth. And as you get into this, I mean, another brilliant exercise because it takes 4 minutes. Don't tell me you can't squeeze a wee 4 minute exercise into your day. Nice one to do in your bed. I always take my timer, use my timer, because if you don't, well, I don't, my mind wanders and I forget what I'm doing. So you don't want that to happen. Senile dementia. So keeping yourself, you're measuring it, and also you're understanding, right, okay, I'm breathing very fast and very hard. I need some exercise, some movement to slow this down. And if you're very fit, your pulse rate goes down, your breath reps will go down. We also understand that the best indicator that you're going to have a heart attack is the amount of breaths you're having per minute in the run up to the 24 hours before that would be an incident. I'm not sure where this data comes from, but it makes sense, and that you can actually breathe yourself out of these episodes, let's say, to some degree. Obviously, it depends what's causing it. So the power of your breath, I cannot emphasize it enough. This is your superpower. So all these exercises I'm teaching you, I'm showing you, reminding you of, I'm sure a lot of you have done them before. Practice, 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 practice. Get to know that breath, get to know that body inside out and back to front so that you can regulate and manage your chemistry, because that's simply what you're doing. Okay? So we'll just have a wee practice. So just take your finger under your nose so that you can actually see it. That's not what we're doing. We're doing something very in, out. And again, breathing into your belly. I'm just going to put the timer on and we'll do it. But before we start, check in with the body and see how you feel. Because obviously, the best indicator that an exercise works is you going, oh, I feel different, I feel better, I feel lighter, whatever it is. With breath holds can create stress, as you've probably noticed. So don't get too caught up in how many breaths you're doing, especially if this is the first time you've just done this exercise. Okay, just pay attention to how, don't go over your air hunger, just enough that's making you go, oh, I could breathe a bit deeper now, but just keeping it nice and balanced. And as I say, don't worry, you can't do this wrong. Right, so I'm going to put the timer on and we're going to start. So get your finger under there just to remind you how gently you're breathing. It's this feather, you're trying not to move, okay? And 3, 2, 1, start. Nice and slowly breathing into the belly. And in your own time, gently breathing out. LSD. Long, slow, and deep. Feels a bit strange, doesn't it? That's good. It's meant to be strange. It's different. It's new. Okay, that's 1 minute. So count again how many rounds you're doing. One breath is in and out. long, slow, deep, and quietly. And stop. That's 2 minutes. And keep going and see how many you are in your third minute. And here we're coming up for the third minute again. Final minute. See how many how many in and out breaths you take this time. Remember, try not to move this feather into your belly, nice and slow, long, slow and deep. Quietly, deeply, long, really controlling this situation. And stop. And just breathe normally again. How do you feel? So just ping the message in the box. How many breaths will you take in on average per minute? There's no right or wrong here. A different day, a different count. It's not a competition, remember. We're learning about our energy system, nobody else's. So just observe. How did that feel in 4 minutes? Do you feel any different? How many rounds of breath were you having per minute? How many times were you breathing in and out? 6, 5. Excellent. Yes. 6, 5, 5, 4. So you can see how we can breathe within these parameters of that's as slow as I can go. And then we will do more next week of how, much more intensive breath work and how in actual fact you can get taken to that still place, um, utilizing these very, very simple techniques. Now, obviously, we don't recommend that you breathe when you're driving or doing it, operating any heavy machinery. But the great thing about that one in particular is that nobody really needs to know that you're doing that. Like the 478, like the Sedona method, you felt grounded, brilliant. You can do these exercises in your workplace. If, if you're having an argument with somebody, what Patrick McKeown was using that particular exercise was if he was in like a bus or a crowded place where you want to minimise your chances of bringing in any bugs or anything like that, you slow the breath all the way down. So again, very powerful technique to know There might be certain situations where you're like, "Right, let me slow this down. Let me slow this baby all the way down." Same way as I want to energize, let me breathe in more than I'm breathing out. I want to calm down, let me breathe out more than I'm breathing in. So you're learning the whole time. Right, okay, I actually control this baby. I am the pilot of this spaceship. I just didn't realize, because most of us have not been taught from a young age how to breathe and how to manage our chemistry and our emotions. But now you are. So you can utilize these powerful, powerful 3 protocols and techniques to take yourself out of the adrenal response, take yourself out of first gear, get into cruise control. That's what we're talking about. If you're feeling angry, argumentative, resentful, if you want to blame, shame, and complain, you can breathe your way out of it. All the power is with you. How cool is that? Right under your nose, has been there for all the time you were born, and you just maybe, like me, had no idea. So, learning how to breathe any feeling that you do not enjoy, you can breathe it away. And also, when it comes to letting go, obviously, when you're in that neutral state, you can completely guide with clear intention. You can explain to the body, we're letting this go now. Enough already. You are in charge. And it's again, people talk a lot about awakened, people that are awake and people that are asleep. In my experience, that's a process of like starting to understand how powerful you actually are. And a big part of that is learning how to manage your body, and also understanding how the innate intelligence that the body is. And we've been given a whole load of stories about it that have led us to actually be scared of our own bodies. Think about how much control you've got if you can scare people around the body. So as you start to gently move back into your body, pay attention to the information it's given you, learn how to work with it, and certainly not be scared of it. Everything will start to change, and you will see things very differently, and you will make very different choices. So, without any further ado, I'm going to go and get on, because I am heading to Dundee on Friday for our Goddess gathering, the first one this year. So I'm so excited to get back on the road. It's just been such a phenomenal tour. If you know anybody in Dundee that loves this kind of stuff, that really wants to be empowered, get into that field of inner knowing, please share the word. We've got a few tickets left. It's a phenomenal weekend, super inspiring, super empowering, and you're going to leave different, knowing so much more about yourselves. We love that, don't we? So again, same message. Please share our events, spread the word about all the stuff that we're doing, that you can do. It's all about empowerment, how you can help yourselves, how you can help others. Never underestimate the power of a smile, the power of saying, have you tried this? Are you okay? We need to communicate. We need to help each other. This is the time we're waking up to. We're all in this together. How much love to the Heal Scotland crew. Thank you so much. And again, if you cannot help in any other way, you can share, you can tell people about the movement, you can share the breath work. Have you tried this? Now you'll get meet with resistance, and you just smile, plant the seed, and move on. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.